Let's get comfortable. Move this out of the way. Take a sip of water. Fix the camera. You'll still probably be crooked. The first thing I need to do is apologize. I'm sorry I had to make that YouTube face, but all of the teachers do it. It makes people click on the video, you know, like. And I think every YouTube teacher, almost everyone, has to do the cross thing, like don't do this. When in reality, the video I want to make today is why you actually should say because and not try to think of anything else to say but because is sometimes the only word that works in that situation. And the reason I'm making this video is because I've been doing some research. I'm trying to become a better YouTube English teacher, so I'm watching how others do it. Bigger channels with more subscribers and more views, and I came across this one video. It was called Stop Saying Because, or Why You Shouldn't Say Because, or something like that. Did you notice I just used an English phrasal verb, came across? Now that is something you should know. It's a great term to use when you were searching for something and you found something you didn't realize you would find. For example, I was searching through a bunch of YouTube videos and I came across a video called Why You Shouldn't Say Because. I was in the attic searching for photos and I came across one of my grandmother. It's good to have a wide vocabulary in English. It's good to know synonyms for other words so you don't keep repeating the same word. But because is what we call a filler word. Sometimes it just doesn't get any better than because. It's like and or it or he or she. Sometimes there just isn't anything else to say. Now, I will agree, you don't want to say because too often in formal situations like a job interview. But at the end of the video, I'll show you how you can still say because without it sounding like you're saying because all the time. If you want to skip right to that, I put a chapter. I don't want to say the teacher's name, but over 200,000 people have watched her video. And as I kept watching, I got angrier and angrier, and I actually started like seething. I don't know if I was actually seething, but I did get pretty mad. So right there, I used 3 different ways to say mad or angry. It's good to have a lot of different synonyms for words. English has a huge vocabulary. It might be the biggest of any language. It's great to know other words to say. You'll be able to express yourself more freely, say exactly what you want to say. She had 15 other ways to say because. Here are some of them. As a result of, as long as, being as, considering that, due to, owing to. She actually said owing to. Say that instead of because. And why I got so angry is because I thought as someone who was trying to learn English, was watching this teacher who was supposed to be an expert, they would just get more confused. And I think what would happen is that they would get tongue-tied and they actually wouldn't be able to speak because they were too busy trying to find another way to say because when native speakers say it all the time. In fact, sometimes we don't even say because. We just say cuz. We shorten it. Hey, why'd you do that? 'Cause I felt like it. Now be careful. Sometimes, mostly guys, will call each other cuz, and that is short for cousin. It's a little different. Sometimes because is the only answer, especially if you're upset. Somebody might ask you, hey, why'd you do that? Because. Because why? Because I felt like it. You know right there, that person's having a bad day. Leave them alone. All you have to say is because. Long story short, don't be afraid to say because. Don't let your brain get too busy of thinking of other ways to say because I think it will actually stop you from speaking. Full disclosure. That's something you can say when you want to be really honest with somebody. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. I saw this video on Monday. I'm filming this on a Saturday. I don't want to say this teacher's name. She has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I think 200,000. So it wouldn't be fair for me to say, don't watch this. Just if you ever come across a video that says, don't say this, be careful. It might be a very common word and it's perfectly okay to say. But a really big YouTuber named English with Lucy, you've probably heard of her. She has like 5 million subs. I think on Thursday or Friday of this week, she came out with a similar video of other ways to say because, but she does something very different. She talks about how you should do it in your writing. That's a totally different thing. When you're writing, you have time to think, you have time to revise. When I say revise, meaning again, vise, comes from the Latin for vision. You can look it over again. A lot of times when my English students come to me in class and say, hey, I finished my essay, I'll say, have you revised it? With writing, you have a lot of time to think of other things to say because you may not want to say that too often. If you're writing an informative essay, we call it, where you're trying to explain something, you might say because quite a bit. English with Lucy does a great job of giving you different ways to write because. But when you're speaking, don't be afraid to say because. Now, let's talk about one of the most formal settings for speaking ever. That would be a job interview. You are going to be forced to say because a lot because somebody is going to ask you questions, often about yourself or about your work, and you will have to explain it. Because is probably the only word you need in that situation. But you don't want to start every answer with because. Instead, restate the question. Native English students in the United States, and I'm sure in Australia and England, are taught to restate the question in their writing. If in a job interview, someone asks you, why do you want this job? You could start off with because, but if you want it to sound a little better, restate the question like this. I want this job because. So you're still saying because, but you just start your answer with part of the question. What would make you a good candidate for this job? I think I would be a great candidate for this job because. And then you go into your answer. You're still using because, but you're not searching for another term. Oh no, instead of saying because, maybe I should say as long as. Well, guess what? In that situation, as long as doesn't work. We have something in English called a tryhard. A tryhard. It's a person that tries too hard. In a job interview, you don't want to be seen as a tryhard. You want to seem natural in your speech. So if someone asks you, why would you like this job? Well, considering that I'm a great candidate, I want this job because, but you're still saying because. So just say because that's the only word that really works. Keep it simple. It's a filler word, remember. While I have you here, one other thing I would like to get off my chest that you're probably seeing a lot, and it's actually making me seethe, to use that word again, is how many other English teachers on YouTube are trying to get you to buy a course. I promise, I will never do that. You can find a lot of free lessons on this English channel. You won't have to pay for them. The beautiful thing is I make videos, I get paid a little bit. You watch videos, you have to sit through some ads, but guess who's paying for everything? Big companies for the most part. YouTube is a great place to learn pretty much anything you want as long as you're willing to sit through a couple ads. You can get that information for free. Could I make more money if I sold a course? Probably, but I would feel bad because I can just put it on this channel for free. Now, every so often, you may hear me talk about channel memberships. That's a great way to support the channel, give me a little extra money each month. I will give you a little extra material, and most of that material doesn't actually fit on the channel. It's either really advanced material or material like vlogs where I talk about my life, kind of behind the scenes stuff. Some of those English teacher courses might be amazing, but I'm just thinking, why not put it on your channel for free? I'm watching a lot of other YouTubers, like I said, and I watched a live stream yesterday. This English teacher, I think she might have been from India, I'm not sure, but she wasn't even answering questions. She was just pretty much telling you how to get her course. I watched it for like a minute. I didn't actually really see her teach anything. I saw 85 people watching and commenting in the chat, but I didn't see any of their questions being answered, which I thought was kind of sad. Sponsorships, that's a little different. You may hear me talk about italki every so often, where if you click a link, you'll get some money back, I'll get a little money. I just think that it could help you, it will help me. That's the kind of stuff that might give us a little extra money, but it's not costing you anything extra. You're getting a real benefit from having a tutor, a teacher teach you one-on-one, and that stuff usually costs money. One other thing, and I'm not sure if I'll do this or not, but anytime you're offered a free PDF from a teacher on YouTube, they're definitely going to ask you for your email address. And I mean, that's fine. They're trying to get an email address in case something happens to YouTube. They'll still be able to connect with you. And that's a good thing. Who knows? I may start a mailing list one day too. You're still getting the free PDF. That's a good thing. They're getting your email. Just understand that's why they're doing that free PDF. I do have a couple free quizzes on the channel for some lessons. I could ask for your email address at that time. I just don't do it. You can take the quiz for free. It's just my little bonus to you. Oftentimes those quizzes I've created for my students at my other teaching job. So it doesn't take too much time from me. I've already done it and I think it could help you. I have made one other video that says stop saying this, and it was for Merry Christmas, and I think it's a little bit different. I go into a little more detail. If you want to watch that video, it's right up there. Thanks for watching this video until the end. I'll see you next time.